Call the meeting to order. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Beautiful day.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And first item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Roach and seconded by Councilor Kaler.
Mayor Dill.
Pardon?
Mayor Dill.
Oh, Mayor Dill, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Any deletions, additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you. Next item is to approve the minutes from July 16th. We've all had a chance to look at those. Do you have any additions, corrections, deletions?
I'll move on the minutes, Mr. Chair.
Citizen Hanson has moved,
I'll second.
and second by Councilor Kaler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Next item is the Treasurer's Report. Treasurer Kaler.
Yeah, first of all, the key to cold weather testing, there's a transfer to KEDA of $25,000 and everything appears to be in order, so I would recommend accepting the financials for cold weather testing.
Okay. Treasurer Kaler has moved to recognize the financial. Do we have any questions?
Well, I'll second.
All right. Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Continue, please.
And next, KEDA itself, the same, everything looked in order, and I would recommend accepting the financials.
Any questions? Treasurer Kaler?
I'll second.
All those seconded by Mayor Dill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you.
Yep.
Next, Director Nevenin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks everyone for being here today. I would just, make a note that, referring back to the financials and cold weather, that the JLR annual payment is in process and should be here shortly. They wire it, so it's just always a good sign that we're moving forward with them. But that's a significant part of our budget. So,
And how much is the JLR?
131, Kyra, was that approximate?
Yeah.
131,000. So,
Okay.
yeah, and we built in a 5-year, but we built in a cost of living increase to cover inflation, other items. So, Director's report. A couple items we want to continue to talk about. Our friend Felix from Onesimus went before the city's EDA last month, and we discussed this at our meeting, but formally went before the board to we put in a request to actually acquire the first parcel of his 3-phase project rather than the initial developer's agreement for $250,000. He was looking for to make a payment of $10,000 to secure that property, which would allow him to work with the lenders in lieu of not being able to access his EB5 investment group for this first phase. And so they asked for an amendment for the original developer's agreement, and it did pass. Appreciate the support on there. But as I told Felix before, after, and subsequently, that we've got support in the community and among the city and the EDA and this board, but the clock is ticking, and we want to see some progress. And if this helps us get there, I'd think that's an important step, but it needs to happen. And so he brought that message to his group, and we'll hopefully see some of that movement. So, cold weather testing, met with several contractors over at the facility, finalizing plans. We're running additional power to support JLR's new EV charger. According to Ron Sutherland, JLR is planning on bringing a significant EV fleet here this winter, which means that they'll be hiring additional drivers. So to support that effort, they are paying for the actual charger itself, which is just under $100,000. This is a
How
fast.
much did you say?
100,000, just under, but it's a
100,000?
100,000 for this charger itself. We'll have final numbers on how big the fleet is, but to support that kind of, if he's talking about 9 to 11 vehicles, they're going to need fast charging capacity with multiple chargers. And so our role would be to bring the power from the pole into the location within the facility, and then put a pad down and connect it. So so far so good, but like everything, you don't know the lead time on some of this equipment, so we're crossing our fingers that some of this doesn't have to happen in November. Additionally, Jeremy LaCroix from Deed was here, part of his regional tour. They like to come up and look at some of the projects that they've helped support through some of the Deed programs. And Commissioner Roach happened to be in the business park at the time, so he had a chance to meet him, and he wanted to look at the paving and curb and gutter project, which he also had a role in, with some design ideas, which they incorporated. But and then he also went to Green Tech as part of their one of the programs. They've supported the city's request to move some water and sewer lines for Green Tech, and as they look to expand it somewhere in the future. And I don't know, Councilor Kaler, if you've heard any updates on if they've developed a timeline around that expansion.
No.
At this time, yeah. North Star Electric and Minn Kota, as a result of our Birchdale meeting that had some North Star and Minn Kota folks there, they invited us over to initially Roseau, but then we moved it to Baudette, which is in the same floor. So Mike helped facilitate that, and they wanted to learn more about the Foreign Trade Zone program. So when they go out and talk to businesses, and this is the business development arm of Minn Kota, that they could talk more intelligently about the Foreign Trade Zone program in the hopes that some of their customers might be able to use the Foreign Trade Zone program as an additional tool. So we had a good visit with Matt Marshall and Lisa Severson, who were in Birchdale. I don't know, Mike, if you have any other thoughts.
Well, the Economic Development Program for Minn Kota Power is relatively new, and they initiated it because they started to sell less kilowatts to some of the rural areas. So they have 4 people, and they serve from Ash Lake all the way over to the North Dakota border and all the way down to Moorhead. And so we thought that there must be businesses either importing or exporting that this might be able to help. So we sat down with them, and I suppose we talked a couple hours. And I know there's going to be questions, but they have access to just a lot of potential users that we don't. So the hope is that since after yesterday they'll be able to kind of consume all of the information we try to give them, and after that try to use it. And it seemed to be a plus for everybody, and they came to us initially, so I think it's a real positive thing.
It sounds as if it is, yeah.
Well, the amount of area that they cover on a regular basis is just so much bigger than ours. And
Sure.
we appreciate what we've got out there in that area, but it could be more, and we're hoping it is.
Well, that's some of that area, Alan's in your old
Oh, yeah.
hometown, but there's a lot of manufacturers over there, large and small, and the hope, and they're actually doing a lot of outreach, and they're spending a lot of time in Canada. So there might be some Canadian businesses that do business on this side, but with their additional capacity and reach, we just thought it's a great opportunity to just try to do more with the programs. Appreciate you participating in that, Mike. In the school sale, I think I reported there is they've agreed on a price and a buyer, and that will be formalized next month, 17th, at the 363 school board meeting. And I mentioned Alan Cruz, a gentleman with local roots, is looking to utilize the school as a kind of a high-tech studio. They do a lot of studio productions, and so we'll wait and see how that goes. But it's,
And I plan to join and be an instructor in composing and singing the national anthem.
okay. Yeah, and the good news is that at least the building then there'll be some heat, and utilities will be back on, and it won't go into disrepair. It won't, otherwise it becomes a liability to the county, and so. Additionally, we were at the fair. We had a presence at the Koochiching County Fair in North Home, and I've never seen their fireworks, but I understand from the group down there that their fireworks are pretty impressive. I'm going to try at some point to get down there for that.
I got kicked out of the barn there at 11:30 because it was judging time. We had a booth there for the Koochiching Warrior Name. Yeah, 11. You two got to leave at 11:30 for about an hour because it's time for judging. So, yeah. I'm just glad I didn't grab a loaf of bread there to buy, because apparently that was part of the contest.
That is the county's oldest fair, though.
Yeah, and it's really some. If you've never been there, I would recommend, if you're in there, you just go there, walk around, see what it's about. And it's a real fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair. It's, they don't have rides and stuff, and it's neat. All the community rallies around it, and they come home, and
Yeah, no, they have a good turnout for it, and I'm glad you were there to see that. There's a couple of other additional items. Minnesota Extension Service, Koochiching County Needs Assessment. I've included in your packets a flyer. This group's been working with Minnesota Extension and a local committee to do a needs assessment for the county to see if there's any resources or a strategy where Extension can help support some of the proposals or ideas that come out of this group. And so their next the meeting is going to be on September 11th, I believe.
yeah.
As it says in the flyer. Yeah, it's at Bacchus from 6 to 8, and they're going to focus on 5 areas: economic development, community infrastructure, housing, health care, and mental health. And these are issues that have, are challenge to all rural counties, including Cooch, and we've had discussions around a lot of these items, and obviously economic development. So we'll see what comes as a result. But again, when Extension Service pledges support and looking at ways to help,
It's worth the effort,
Yeah.
the shot.
yeah.
And another lesson, just be careful when they tell you it's going to be a light lift a year and a half ago. They were happy to be part of it. But yeah, be a light lift. That was their selling point.
Well, it's
And they're excited that the group that's still there is enthusiastic and really,
and there's some new faces, but it's
Yeah.
an opportunity to get some community input on, how they feel about this. And I know there's been various efforts in the past that have attempted something similar, but I think again with their involvement that it's worth at least committing some time and energy and see if something can come out of it.
and it's, and then we got a lot involvement from the whole county,
Yeah.
which is it, and I don't mind, I don't think they'll mind sharing. And our focus is, try to take some little steps, get some progress going.
Right.
Hopefully be able to keep the momentum going in. And if I'm not mistaken, this means we're going to be we're in groups.
Yes.
Yeah,
Small.
we'll break up in groups, let people
Small
talk,
different
and come
groups
back,
based on these different areas.
and come back and do that. Yeah. So.
But you're right. I mean, lessons learned from past efforts is to have achievable, smaller goals rather than these, grand. It's like that sometimes are look good on paper and sound good in the public forum, but to actually, work towards something that achieving some goal, it's a lot harder. So that's going to be the focus, which I was pleased to hear because that was talk about Voyage Forward. I mean, it's a great opportunity to get community input with no capacity to move any of it forward. So,
Yeah, and littler things can make a difference.
a big difference.
A big
yeah.
difference. So.
In fact, when we were talking to the Minn Kota people, they traveled that whole northwest region, and they said the same issues are in every community. It's housing, it's daycare, it's health care, mental health. And the Rotary Club of International Falls, we included a press release too. They announced a $60,000 community impact grant, and the bulk of the funds, that $50,000, was raised as part of an earlier splash park initiative that they weren't able to move that forward. So, and I know the city's been involved in some of those discussions about, what would be impactful. Looking at, and they're looking at an accessible space for youth in the broader community, whatever that means or however form that takes. But that's some good seed money to at least try to move that some initiative forward. And it's good to have the Rotary involved.
I just thought of something.
Yeah, I know. I bet would it be them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they make an incredible difference in our community. So
Yes.
thankful
Yeah.
for whatever the outcome of their decision of allocating those funds to
Funds are.
the community.
And we just, at our Rainy River Foundation Board meeting this morning, we learned that they're providing some dollars to this Welcoming Communities initiative. And they're actually going to host a couple of outings with incoming community college students, socialize and get out on the lake, and then try to develop some mentors who are these people from out of town that are studying here and living here to make some connections within the community. And I think that always goes a long way.
How many students did I didn't hear? How many students did Brad say that will be housed in the dorm this year? Dormitory?
Yeah, I can't remember the total. Is
70,
it's a lot, yeah.
71, I think you said so far.
And
Oh,
increasingly
that's
the
excellent.
excuse me, but increasingly the students are not local students. They're coming from outside the area.
Yeah.
So there's always a big presence of, and you can imagine in a small community, it's hard to make connections beyond the campus. So I think that's always good. And I've always said that if you can get people on the lake here, it goes a long way to keeping them here, having them return in some capacity. So, and with that, I'll just we're going to begin working on our 2026 budget next week. As I know, the city and county have been working on creating their budgets as well. It's that time of year, so With that, I would entertain any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Director Nunn. The next item is city county updates. And so we'll start with Citizen Hanson from the Out County and the report on the North American Sturgeon Championship.
You know, the fishing was so good, Mr. Chair, there's still people out there fighting fish. It went wonderful. The folks who really did the heavy lifting did great. We're in a period of transition where other neighbors are stepping in and assuming roles, and I can't say enough for their professionalism and how they did. We had 93 kids, and it just so happened that we had 186 presents.
Wow.
So every child that went there got two things, and some of them were damn nice. I mean, I think we gave away 3 or 4 rods that were, I know, $150 or more. So you know, it was great. The donors and the people at the sports shops in general, and Kyra kind of led the charge on doing it. They were wonderful. We went in one place and told them we had $1,000, and they said, "Well, put it on the table here, and we'll tell you when you get to 1,000." We got to 1,000. They said, "Keep bringing." And I think when we were done, we thought that maybe we walked out with $1,500 worth of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. One word. Wow. It was that way every place we went, and you just couldn't beat it. So the kids had a great time. It was a wonderful day. We had 217 people fish in our bigger tournament. A little less than we've had at other times, and there wasn't a lot of fish caught. The biggest fish was 54 or nearly 55 inches long, and I think that it was worth $2,337. What was a big number was the amount of night crawlers that got eaten without catching fish. You know, whether it was light suckers or little walleyes, or they just missed them, you know, we don't know, but it was like that. Everybody had a great time, wonderful food. So we'd like to see you again next year, and I'm hoping that next year is even better.
How many adults did you say fish?
217, and some of them were, you know, kids as well that stayed with their parents. Yeah.
But there's 217 contestants.
Yeah. One time, some years ago, we were doing a little bit of checking about the Birchdale area and other entities that over the years tried to promote the area. And we found out in the 40s there was a group called the River Valley Development Association in the 40s. So they reassumed the name, and here's some pamphlets that the folks who sit on community building board represent the stuff that's in there, and it's just another way to promote the area. I did chat with Tess Skiles. She's the North Home City Clerk, and she chatted about the North Home Fair at length and said that right now they're pretty quiet. In Big Falls, they're kind of waiting for the influx of bear hunters that started, I think, September 1st. And I know they're baiting now. And I actually had someone tell me they had 10 different bears on their camera. Or their, and 2 of them cinnamon. So I'm not surprised since I had the experience, but it's amazing how many people target the Big Falls area just to hunt bear. Little Fork, I thought, really kind of did a great little deal on National Night Out.
Yeah.
They set it up so that different blocks within the community did different things for National Night Out. Cross River Hall did their own. On the 30th of this month, There's going to be a penny carnival at the Little Fork Community Building, and it's held annually by the Linford Christian Fellowship Church. So there'll be more things going on in Little Fork. So that's kind of what I have, Mr. Chair, other than the fact that, I keep hoping that the English school actually moves forward and we're going to know within a month, and which is exciting. Every time I drive by it, I think that the 70,000 square foot campus and all of the other amenities that's with it, and Mr. Chair, you were in it. It looks, I know it's 50 years old, but it looks like it's brand new.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Looked like they just walked out the door
Yeah.
in the classrooms.
yeah.
Bulletins or boards are left. It's just
Some of the books from the library went to the Historic Museum. A lot of them were donated, and books from the 50s and 60s they had. So that was a good thing. That was a good deal.
How much money did you guys raise at the Sturgeon?
Well, I don't know exactly because I don't know what the results of the food are. I do know that the community building, when you drive by it, costs $1,000 a month just to sit there. So, you have any inclination?
We still have some expenses that are coming in, but I'm estimating roughly 7,000 that we raised total between everything.
Big deal,
That's all winter's heating though.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And that, liability insurance for a little place like that, you have to have it. So, there's going to be events. And I think, maybe, would you like to outline the September 13th event?
I don't know much about
well, it's
the
gonna
Band
be
and Burgers.
It's a 2-day event. Be a white elephant sale, as well as a cornhole tournament, and there's going to be bun and a burger. So there'll be music, food during those 2 days. It'll be kind of a last hurrah. And again, it's only able because of neighbors who step up and come and do it themselves. Ball season is over. Every Monday and Wednesday nights they had softball there. Men one night on Mondays and the ladies on Wednesday, and the ladies are competitive. Teams come from quite a way, Rainy River and Badette, and it's a fun deal. So if you want to just feel good about yourself, drive out to the end of the rainbow.
very good.
You'll
Thank you.
feel better just being there.
Any questions?
I just couldn't help but notice there's a handsome guy with a big buck in there.
Yeah.
He's going through the-
Yeah.
I think that was staged.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too.
Looks like the Schneider buck to me.
It's
Well, I did have to borrow it, yeah.
all right. Next up, the city, Mayor Dill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some updates, not a ton or nearly as animated as what we always enjoy at every meeting. So, Mr. Hanson, thank you. City's in the throes of the annual budgeting process, so we all know how that is. And it is Bass Tournament Week, so I believe tomorrow is the parade. So that's exciting, and of course, the fantastic beer garden and all the folks you can go meet and talk bass fishing with. On this coming Monday night, there's an open house to discuss the future of the Pete Peterson band shell that is no longer. So there's a lot of musicians out there that have deep roots to the band shell. I'm a musician that never got to play in the band shell, so I don't have that connection to it. But then there's community-oriented folks and musicians out there that don't think we need a band shell, and maybe something that serves a different purpose. So that'll be the point of the open house, is to get all of that information out there. As I lose track of time, last week I believe Bolton and Mink was commissioned by city and county to do a study of the International Falls Airport which has ties to KEDA, obviously, as we sit here. So in the study, there were, which I believe was viewed as a positive, were a couple things that pertain to KEDA, but that will probably, I would assume that discussion would start at the airport commission level and not here. And other things, not economic development related necessarily, but I think certainly things that would lead to such cornerstones of the community. There's a tentative deal for the IFPD to go back into the old law enforcement center, which I was on that committee with Councilor Wagner and our counterpart across the table here, Commissioner Roach. So would like to thank you. And we're making progress on an ambulance taxing district, or at least we're discussing what the future of the service looks like and how it can be provided and what it could cost and what the options are. So all things that if you're going to have economic development, usually you get asked, well, is there a place for my kids to go to school? Is there a gas station on the corner? Is there internet so that my wife or significant other can work from home? And is there ambulance service if we get hit or fall ill? So with that, I would hand it back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you have anything to
No, just that some of our road projects, we started doing 9th Street project, the whole rebuild of what it is, and part of Stenberg should be starting soon. They had an open house there in Stenberg yesterday, I know, and we made some adjustments that some of the residents asked about to do with the heaving of the road with sewer pipes and all that, and I think they got that figured out for them, so it wasn't a waste of time kinda to do it in a couple of years. It's starting to buckle up again, and that's about it. Though, all the normal things going on, like the mayor said. So.
Will it be a two-way street now? It's a one-way street now, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. The east end where it's one way when it's done, it'll be 2-way, and it's going to have a bike trail on there. Got some money from.
So it'll have a marked bike.
Yeah. Instead of a sidewalk, 2 sidewalks on the one side. I think it's going to be 10 feet or 8 bike trail going all the way to connect with the trail from this end of town, and then eventually a trail's going to be incorporated from 11th Street and 1171 along. The highway, I keep forgetting what's that, highway lane, wayside lane, whatever side of the road it is. And then to hook up with that, because of the state's going to add into that too, and they redo the road. And I think that's 2029 is the scheduled date for 1171. And from what I understand, nothing official. You might as well head out on 53 a few times to get used to it. So there may be some roundabouts somewhere along the way. So
There's talk of that.
yeah.
They are redoing most of Highway 71. I was on my way to Bemidji, and they have new asphalt down from pretty much from Big Falls all the way down past North Home. So we got the state did us a good favor and repaved the road.
There's so much going on in International Falls that routinely talks 2 of us to cover it all, and then we forget a couple.
Oh yeah, I'll be forgetting stuff been going on. But yeah, that's important. I think that'll be nice to have that, but still a circle bike trail going along and another all the way through that outside there. And granted, that's not the only place with bad sewer and water, but that'll be getting fixed, which is very important with that. And be able to, and part of that process, we'll finally get to be using some of our lead pipe replacement money. During that, it made it more favorable for the contractors and price. So yeah,
Biking has become a big activity and a draw for visitors
Most of them are squeezing a throttle though instead of pedaling.
Yeah, I see
A
those.
lot of
Electric bikes.
Maybe next we could make a picturesque mountain biking trails out by the bass fishing pond for the kids out there in the old sand pit.
Sure. All right, thank you.
Run through the quarry.
County updates. We'll start with Commissioner McIntyre.
Well, I'm on the Visitor and Travel Bureau board, and things are going very good over there. Obviously, the town and the county have been very busy and have had lots of visitors this year. Lots of hotel stays and resort stays. So,
Okay,
and they have a great marketing program going on to try to get more visitors into our area.
very good. Commissioner Roach.
I just reiterate what the mayor said there. We work very well together at with the ambulance committee and with the police department, and we look forward to doing more with the city.
Very good. That's welcome news.
I noticed too that the new law enforcement center is nearly complete. I mean, they're doing some dirt work, but a lot of equipment and supplies are getting cleaned up.
Yep, and they moved. I believe they started pouring concrete. Not guaranteeing it, but I believe they started on out on the north side between that and the city. I don't know if they're pouring the concrete for the Veterans Memorial, but they're out there. They were doing all kinds of dirt work the other day, and I see the cement trucks rolling in and out of there. So there's a lot of activity. Hopefully, they say by September we should have our building handed over to us. So.
And thank you for answering my question. I was going to ask about if that was where the memorial was possibly going.
The memorial's going to go out between that, and it's actually they're going to stage it so when you're looking at the American flag that's between the library and the police department or the municipal building there.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
So the jail will be at everybody's back.
Yeah.
So.
All right. It's great to hear about projects in progress. Any other comments that we have? Thank you for your attendance. What do you have? Paul?
No, I just said the time, we got through that in record time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's part of efficiency training to run a meeting.
Yeah.
That's a reflection of August.
All right. Thank you very much. The meeting's adjourned. Oh, we have to get the next one, the next meeting. So we're looking at September, the third Wednesday. I will not be here, but that's, we have a very capable vice president.
17th?
17th?
That's
okay
what
with
my
people?
calendar says, Mr. Chair.